Hello everybody. So yeah, I cleaned up the Fulmar Land animation meta sound. It sounds more like realistic. The notes for the last submission was that it sounded like a cartoon, so we don't want that, so just a bit more real sounding. I think that sounds pretty good. I spent most of my work though doing this Fulmar Death meta sound, and it looks like this. Kind of crazy. Let me just pull up the animation for that. Yeah, it's right here. Hear me out though. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant. Um, I could really use some help with, I guess, programming and like Marina is already know. Wow, I'm stuttering. Marina already knows what I'm gonna say, but when it comes to animations, I worked on this previous game in Unreal Engine that fell through. But like, long story short, the programmer that I was working with was able to make meta sounds like stuff, triggers, values, booleans, whatever, like meta sound variables and inputs. He was able to make them appear over here on the details panel. So, when you have a notify like this, you can select the meta sound, but it would also be great if I could like select certain triggers so I could be super precise about the timing, right? Because in this animation, the Fulmar, he like flaps his wings, he falls to the ground, he's shaking, his mouth opens, blah blah blah. Like there's a bunch of different separate actions, and the good thing about meta sounds is that you can set up a trigger for every one of those little events. You know what I mean? So if you have an input here called, I don't know, feather shake, you could drag that in here. I have a trigger right here, and I'm looking for a way for the animation to communicate with the meta sound. The workaround that I've been doing right now that is kind of like not that good. Um, let's see. Yeah, the workaround that I've been doing is like setting up these trigger pipes or trigger delays, and I'm like, okay, I think he falls at 5.7 seconds, but it's not very accurate. Like, I'm looking at this timeline and I'm like, okay, around 5.7 he falls. I just feel like there's a better way to do it, especially with like more complicated animations like this. So if you're a programmer and you're understanding what I'm saying, I would love to work with you to get some sort of more control over the animations and the syncing with audio. So I don't have to kind of like guesstimate with these delays in order to line stuff up. You know what I mean? And that's about it for me. Bye.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good week. This week, I was working on Po2, getting vocals added into the wing flap sound effects that I was working on the past month. I used a mixture of Vultr, a little bit of human vocals, processed them a little bit, and here it is. Thank you.